Oilers Nation After Dark begins now.
Now that's more like it, everybody. What a time to be alive as the Oilers finally win a hockey game. Yes, you heard that right. The Oilers take the Kraken down by a score of 4-1. Hello and welcome to Oilers Nation After Dark. After a win, the wins have been few and far between this season. I am so jacked up that I get to talk about a dub right now and not another soul-crushing defeat. If you're keeping track at home, this is only the third time we've been able to do this. But hey, that makes you appreciate it much more. I always say you can't enjoy a sunny day without a couple rainy days. Well, it's been pouring rain in Edmonton for the last little bit, so it feels very good. The irony in Seattle with my rain joke, I just kind of saw it there. It was a great time for the boys on the nation vacation. They must be so happy that they won that game, because if they were to lose that one, the vibes coming home, I don't think would be too good. There's all kinds of discussion to get into. We are live from a different version of the Sports Closet studio. We're looking in the YouTube chat. It's just a lot of happy people. Sergeant Battle, all capitals. We are so back. I wrote that in the chat after one goal from Oilers Nation, all capitals. I don't learn lessons well, because that could have easily bit me in the behind, but it didn't. So we're here to celebrate, and here to celebrate with me, it's the man once again. I said just before that, seeing his face with these colors and everything on the screen, it just felt right. Bring him in, the Sports 1440 man himself, Connor Halley. Connor, you might be the good luck right now. I might need you again on Monday for all of this. You're Chuck. You're out. Connor Halley's in the co-host seat. Connor, you must be on cloud nine like I am right now.
Yeah. The good news is I don't do a whole lot, so I am always free to do these shows with you, Aaron. So anytime you need me, must-win game, I'll make myself available. But 100%, that was the game you needed to see from the Oilers. I know we're going to get into the goals and break all them down and how it all happened, but that was the effort you wanted to see. And Stuart Skinner, I said that was a storyline for me. I know he wasn't tested too much, but 944 save percentage, I do believe. That's what we wanted to see. Could have been 902. We would have been happy, but at 944, very good sign from Stuart Skinner.
It was a good sign from everybody. I thought Dylan Holloway, he was a bright spot in today's game. Love seeing him drop the mitts right there. That was, boy, ain't taking no shit anymore, okay? You want to cross-check him in the back one too many times? He didn't win the fight, but whatever. He didn't get injured. Didn't last year when he fought? Did he get injured last year when he fought? Something happened last year when he fought. I can't remember. But this was a better result than that. He might have not scored the takedown, but whatever. I really like seeing Dylan Holloway fired up. It's been a good one. It's been a great one. So let's get into the Crown Royal scoring summary. Yes, I did dip into it just a tad during this game. The vibes were good. The vibes were flowing. Shout out Crown Royal. They're the best. They're very generous. And I might have a generous guy in just a bit. But the Oilers, we got the quick start that we wanted, that we've been talking about for what feels like forever. Connor, Zach Hyman, the man, maybe they have this pre-gaming on. I highly doubt they do in the locker room before, but we said we wanted greasy Zach Hyman-like goals. Well, I guess we were just going to get Zach Hyman goals the old-fashioned way. Nice greasers. The first one, odd man rush for the Oilers with Kane and Zach Hyman. It was not pretty. Somehow, I just said, we were texting during, Connor, Zach Hyman, go to the hoop, nose down, somehow gets a stick on it and gets a backhand, elevates it up over Philip Grubauer. The vibes were rolling, Connor. What were you thinking after one?
You know what? I was thinking, who's going to get the second? Is it going to be the Oilers or will it be the Kraken? The start of the season has made me think that way. It's kind of a pessimistic way to look at things. But exactly, a 2-on-1 opportunity. I mean, it was the Kraken. We talked about Darnell Nurse last game. This time it's the Kraken bobbling at their own blue line. The Oilers going the other way, doing exactly what they have to do. And, we talked about Hyman-type goals. But that was a nice finish. He tucks that under the bar. Great finish from Hyman. And at that point, it's kind of like, okay, well, let's see if he can build on this, see if the team can build on this one, because it's been great starts. It's been lots of shots, but just needed to see it continue.
Yep, I see a lot of people in here. The Hyman hat trick. We're going to get into that a bit. I see people ask me, am I going to get drunk, Tyler? I don't know. Maybe. I texted him before and I said, hey, you want to come on? Come gloat, baby. This is the time to do it. Everybody loves Zach Hyman. He keeps it going on the Oilers power play. PP1, they were able to get one. Nuge to Bush. Bush does not hesitate. He sees Hyman's in front of the net. Hesitation's been a thing for me with Nuge and Bush kind of there on that half wall. Rips it, throws it on net. Hyman's in the right spot. Of course he is. That's what he does. Stick on the ice, boom, gets the rebound, smashes it on home. I just love the simplicity of Zach Hyman's game. He is not the best, the most skilled player at all on this lineup, but he's always in the right spot. His hockey sense is smart. He's just a smart player, Connor.
Yeah, and I mean, on that play, that would have been very tough for Grubauer to hang on to it right there. Not only was Zach Hyman there, Leon Draisaitl was kind of in the way as well. Doesn't get any points off of that one, unfortunately. But you're right. Evan Bouchard has to do that. He's got to get the puck on net quick. He can't be the shin pad assassin. He's got to get pucks through. And then Zach Hyman, Johnny on the spot, ready there for the tap in. He's going to bury those all the time. The only thing stopping Zach Hyman from scoring those goals is refs calling goaltender interference, because he's money from that spot. And make it 2-0. That was a massive, massive goal.
It's funny that you say that. I kind of forgot how many disallowed goals Zach Hyman had last year. Yeah, we haven't really had much of that this season because we haven't had goals in general, Connor. I see a funny one from Genesis here. He said, Aaron is too professional to be drunk. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, totally. I would never drink live on the show, or there was good vibes though. I am at home. My buddy came over. He's actually in the chat here, I think too. He's sitting on my couch over there. So I'm sure he's gonna be throwing in some chirps. But continuing with the Crown Royal scoring summary, 3-0, dirty, greasy, banging in front of the net. Zach Hyman completes the natural hat trick. You couldn't have written a better script, man. His reaction was too good. I love seeing guys like that get rewarded. I've always been I used to call Zach Hyman the greatest Oiler of all time, and I'd call him the GOAT. I know that's crazy, but he's my boy. He keeps it going. Then, the second period for me, it was a little bit slower. It wasn't going great, but as I said, let's finish the first. Dylan Holloway, able to bury with 18 seconds left. The boys just kept it going right there with 30 seconds left. My buddy actually kept saying we had to go pick up some Coca-Cola for my Crown Royal. And he's like, 40 seconds left. He's like, let's leave. Let's go right now. Let's get it. I'm like, dude, no. There's still an opportunity. Something can happen. Boom. Dylan Holloway. He's there to get. We were getting bounces tonight, Connor. It's something that's been few and far between. Holloway gets off the schneid. What did you think of that? It was so great to see him bury one, especially late in the period.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just going back to the third goal there, Aaron. I mean, we talked about going to the blue paint, getting those ugly goals. There was 3 Oilers within like 5 feet of the goal line. Kane, Nuge, and Hyman all crashed in the net after the rebound. I think Evander Kane was the first guy in there, and then again, Johnny on the spot, Zach Hyman finds it and buries it. That's what I love to see. I mean, we've seen so much of this dusting off the puck, taking a looks around, making the extra pass. That was like, let's just throw it on net and I'll crash it. And what's going to happen? And yes, a minute 22. Even that was kind of a late one. I bet some people did go to the store to get some Coca-Cola for their Crown Royal. Some people missed it. Not you. Veteran move. Wouldn't expect anything less from you. And then exactly, you stick around for that last one. And for Dylan Holloway, I mean, that's just got to be the weight of the world off his shoulders. Finally contributing, getting that goal. And then we'll get into it. You know, the confidence, swagger, snarl, fighting Vince Dunn after eating about 15 cross checks to the back, just like, yeah, you know what, I'm pissed off and now I'm going to fight. That's the stuff you love to see. And if this goal can be somewhat of a momentum generator for Dylan Holloway, so be it. That's going to be great because he's got a lot of upside and we want to see it.
He's got so much upside. It's the thing for championship teams like the Dallas Stars. We said a couple of games ago, they're able to keep a great third line because their Wyatt Johnson, their second-year player, is performing in the top 6. That's what I need to see from Dylan Holloway. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again because that was just so the game that you needed to see. That's everything we've ever wanted. It wasn't in doubt from the whole beginning. Sure, I have a couple moments after the first one being like, oh shit, whatever, but never actually too bad. Nothing was ever too crazy. I love it from Angie in the chat. She says, love happy Aaron. Me too, man. I like doing this show when I'm in a good mood. It has not been easy the last couple, but 13 in, right? This is 3, 9, and yep, that's math. Yep. Yeah. 13 games in. We finally got something to be happy about. So, whatever. The Seattle Kraken are able to score 4-1. I didn't expect an well, I guess I can say it now, shutout from Stuart Skinner. Whatever. All I needed was 9. My save percentage started with a 9. And what did you say? I had a 9.44. Hey, there it is, Stuart Skinner. He did make a couple good saves. There was one in the third after they scored their first goal, Connor, that they kept it hemmed in our end. You could feel the momentum going. It was a little cross crease feed. Stu gets there. I believe he got his blocker on it. Thank the Lord, baby. We got everything we wanted tonight, Connor. It was a good one. Did you have any Crown Royal this evening?
No, I did not. I did not. I'm not on your level, Aaron. I one day hope to get there.
How does that not surprise me?
Yeah, this boring old man. I know I'm boring, but
hey, you're not a boring old man. There is something at the end of the show that I see has been in here a lot that I need to talk to you about. It's the cul-de-sac, but we'll get into that in just a bit.
Can I just say, Stuart Skinner also about 4 minutes in, Bouchard kind of threw a hope pass up to Evander Kane, went the other way. Big save to keep it scoreless as well. So there were a couple for Stuart Skinner tonight.
Yeah, actually, that was the first thing I had written down in my first period. Kraken had a great cross-ice opportunity in close, but Skinner made the save, baby. That's what he does. Speaking of another man who does what he does, we're about to bring him in. He's the people's champ, as I've said. He's the most famous celebrity at Oilers Nation. No, I'm not talking about Yaremchuk. I am talking about the one, the only, Matthew Wozniak. There he is, baby. Hello, Woz. You're live from the office, I see, with your backdrop behind you.
Yes.
How was the game, and how's your mood?
Well, basically, I just put out a tweet saying you can't spell Woz without W. That's basically what the Oilers just got. So,
wait,
let me check. I had to say it.
That is fact. That is fact.
I had to say it. I'm sorry. I had to. You know what? I'm sorry. Gotta stay humble a bit, but I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. The Oilers won, and it's it's. I think this is the third nation vacation in the States that the Oilers have won. So it's good vibes all around right now.
It looked like an incredible time for those guys. I was texting them during. We'll get into something in a minute for the bad that I need to point out and sewer my friends with.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you already know what it is, was. It was a good time. I did have a lot of FOMO. I didn't leading up to this one, but then of course they performed that way. I'm sure they're all having a great time, and I'm sure Yaremchuk is to the moon right now. I'm sure he's gone. But let's get into the good, bad, and the oily. That is presented by Alberta Blue Cross. The only thing better than sharing memories is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross travel insurance protects your memories and more wherever travel takes you. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. I hope they all got travel insurance because they're going to go rip that city to shreds right now. But okay, Pat, can you give me the good? It's the Hyman hat trick, obviously. This is what we've wanted to see from, I don't care who it is. I honestly was off in my bets again. We'll get into that. I thought it was going to be the Connor Leon show tonight. Turns out to be the line mates on the wing with Connor, Zach Hyman. Let me ask this, Connor. Break down his game for me. Are you surprised? Like, this is just a product of hard work for Zach Hyman, right?
I mean, I guess I would say I'm surprised just because we haven't seen him do it like this so far this season. Just checking here, 5, 6, and 7 on the year. So only 4 goals going into it, but to do it in the fashion that he did, 1 off the rush and 2 getting his nose dirty and going to the messy areas to make it happen. That part doesn't surprise me. That's what Zach Hyman does. And, you could probably make a case that he's been doing that the entirety of the season, but the team's not doing a good enough job funneling pucks to the net where he can make those things happen and take advantage of those opportunities. So good to see him do it. For the most part, I'd say this guy is going to give you the exact same effort every night, and it's going to be everything he's got. Sure, he's a couple off games like every player, but yeah, for Hyman, that's just what you expect out of him. That's the effort you're going to get, and a bit of a surprise to see those results, but a natural Hattie in 1 period, that's unreal.
You're damn right it is, Woz. What'd you think of his Zach attack tonight?
It was perfect. I mean, the first goal was a beautiful backhander, and then the Oilers just created a bit of chaos in front of the Kraken crease, and Hyman was able to find those greasy goals, just find a way to get the puck in the back of the net. And that's kind of what you expect from Zach Hyman, and he executed perfectly. A little bit of luck, but I think the Oilers are deserving of a little bit of luck, and that's fine. It's same with that Dylan Holloway goal. Just a little bit of luck went their way, and next thing you know, it's 4-0 Oilers in the first. It was beautiful.
Yep, everybody in here, that's hockey, baby. Good is
Mhm.
Hyman. Yeah, everybody, Zach Hyman. Who doesn't? There's all kinds of good in here. Other people saying Dylan Holloway.
Yeah.
Skinner is good. Oh, nice. I got nice delivery as well. Look at that. Look at that.
Some water.
Nothing but the best over here. Another good Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner, we said he's great. He had a 9.44. Made the saves you needed to see him make. There's lots of good tonight. I don't want to nitpick ever because I've been doing that way more than enough lately. So good. Let me ask you, Connor, anything else specific good jump out to you?
Oh, I mean, I guess it's nothing major. I mean, you kind of touched on all the good things there, but just elaborating on Dylan Holloway, going back to the kid standing up for himself, not backing down, team toughness. Don't take shit from these guys. That's what I want to see from this team going forward. And maybe if you are someone seeing it, we talk about how it can spark a team, energize a team. Yeah, maybe some more guys on this team should act like that. If you're taking shots, cross checks to the back, you got a guy coming after you for a hit you through, drop him. Do what Dylan Holloway did. You don't have to go after the biggest guy on the team, but get in there, grab him, throw a few punches, wrestle to the ice. I memean, it sparks the team for one, fires up the fan base, and that should be encouraging for everyone else out there on that team. Certain guys, like we said, Aaron, in the pre-gaming, certain guys don't have to. We don't need McDavid to do that. But if other guys get into a fight, we wanted Nuge or Gagne, we'll take Dylan Holloway.
Yep, I agree. I like the point you made there of wrestle to the ice. Just don't throw a ton, whatever. Just make it known you're trying to fight. Make a little bit of a scene. Go down. Don't get hurt. I don't need any of that. Another good that's in here. I like this from Cody Anderson. How about how boring it was after the first? That was great. Solid D boys. I love a good boring hockey game.
Oh yeah, I think the Kraken had about almost 9 shots throughout the middle second period. It wasn't really until the third that they're buzzing and applying some pressure to the Oilers. And also just to touch on Dylan Holloway, I think it's a little bit good karma because Tony Berard and Gene Principe posted something on social media where prior to the game there was a young fan with a mini stick, and he was able to exchange that mini stick with Dylan Holloway for like a stick, right? So just good vibes, great karma for Dylan Holloway, and it went his way. So you love to see it.
Good guy, Dills. Let's see. I always knew it.
Is it wrong to call him Big Dill?
You can call him that. You can call him that. I might not. But yeah, you can do whatever you want, buddy. We're post win. We can say whatever we want. But as always, with the good comes the bad. This one, I am very upset about this. So let me set the stage. There's Tyler. There's Jay. There's Gavin, who wasn't wearing a hat. Bag Milk, Rick. So what is that? Maybe whatever the math is on it. There's enough guys there. You're on the road for the nation vacation. They're all wearing hats. Zach Hyman scores a natural hat trick in the first period, and they did not throw their hats. Every one of them still wearing it. I guess Tyler, his is the nice one from the Heritage Classic. I don't know. Hey, Pat, can you make a poll in the chat right now and ask, I don't know, yes or no, would you have thrown your hat, or how they feel about that? I know a lot of people will say they would have, but they wouldn't have. I always wear my shittiest hat to the game for this very reason. I'm a little disappointed by that. I thought the nation, it's a bad look for the nation citizens right there. Connor, would you have thrown your hat?
Yes, because I've never actually been to a game where an Oilers recorded a hat trick, so I've never had the opportunity to do so. But Aaron, that's it. You go to these games, you know it's a possibility, so you're not wearing that brand new hat. You have to be ready for that one. And hey, you know what? To the guys wearing the Oilers Nation hats, you throw that on the ice, maybe the camera pans to it. Nice little bit of marketing right there. You got to take advantage of that opportunity because it doesn't come around often. People like me have never witnessed a hat trick in real life, so I think you got to do it.
That's a good point. That's advertising you will not get anywhere else, Connor. If they were to zoom in on that hat, you're wearing an Oilers Nation one right now. You would have thrown it, right?
Well, here's the thing. The boys like to give me a lot of flack because when we went to Nashville for a nation vacation, Leon Draisaitl scored a hat trick, and I did not throw my cowboy hat. And to this day, they give me a lot of shit for not throwing my cowboy hat. So to see none of them throw a hat is kind of funny, isn't it? So yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. They should have thrown their hats. But to be fair, they were sitting pretty high up, so I'm just kind of wondering like how far would the hat have gotten. So but yeah, I've experienced a Draisaitl hat trick on a nation vacation, and I'm pretty guilty of not throwing a hat.
Yeah, and I knew what the reaction would be in here. Everybody in here, boo, too far to throw. I get it's too far to throw. It's a little debated here. If you're in the upper bowl, I understand because you're probably not going to get the satisfaction of hitting the ice. I can kind of subscribe to that because that is the part you want. You want to see it hit the ice. But you're the enemy. You're the enemy in enemy territory, and you get a natural hat trick in the first period. It's unacceptable to me. And the vote in here, 87 votes. Are you throwing your hat for Hyman? 88% yes. Of course, that's what you're going to do. I'm not surprised. I also texting your M-Check right now, asked him if he could join, says it's way too loud. I don't think we're going to be getting him today. I'm sure they'll give us a little wrap-up video once again. I think they might be doing an episode of Better Late Than Never there. So if you want the inside scoop on the trip, hey, that's where you'll get it. Looks like a hell of a time. I bet they are just burning that city down right now, Was.
Did you see the video that Kennedy posted of them just looking absolutely a little lost in the sauce up in the stands? She posted on her socials. So Tyler looks like he's been having a great time.
Where Tyler's just with his thumb up,
like,
just looking.
Yeah.
The comments on that one were pretty funny. I was laughing very hard. But okay, let's see the Oily.
Ooh.
Jay Woodcroft. It's been a topic of discussion for forever now. I said on pre-gaming, his general mood for his pre-game interviews was very chipper, making jokes, everything. One hand, you could be like, oh, it's his last game, so he's just having a good time. He's enjoying it, smelling the roses. Other hand, you're like, maybe he's been reassured that he's sticking around. Very tough to fire a coach after a performance like that from start to finish. Straight up, I don't maybe want to use the word domination, but close to. I have a hard time saying that you're going to fire Jay Woodcroft. We showed off all the Bruce Kurlock reasons why not to on pre-gaming. So, Connor, where do you go from here?
I mean, if their plan was to fire him when they returned to Edmonton, this was the worst case scenario. You got a good defensive performance. You got goals scored. The team came out firing as if maybe it was a plea to save the coach and keep him here with the team. I guess I would say that if you made that decision based off the start of the season, one game shouldn't sway you, but could it delay the decision? I don't know. I don't think. I think if it was such a serious situation where you had to make a change, they would have just made the change. And it could have been Gulletson running the bench for one game before someone else is brought in, if that was such a big concern of yours that the coaching staff was the problem. So I don't know. Maybe the comments he made pregame were a guy who was comfortable and relaxed from hearing that his job is secure, but I'm going to lean towards the direction of saying he's staying at this point. No firing.
Pat just threw a poll in there right now, so be sure to get your vote in. What would you do? Waz, where do you think we're moving forward with this? I'm so up and down with everything. Tough. I wanted to head on a stick after the last game. Now I don't know, Waz, what do you think?
I think it's generally you keep them until they lose. I think they delayed until they lose. The question is maybe it's 2 losses because I'm wondering like if they go like a 5-game winning streak with Woodcroft, does he stay on longer, right? And it's like, but what if they have a coach they're like keeping in the wings like a Gerard Gallant? I don't know, right? It's a very like. This is a very rare situation for the Oilers or any NHL to be in, considering what Woodcroft is has one of the highest winning percentages among all our coaches in franchise history, but also has one of the worst starts in franchise histories. So, and also I haven't seen like majority of the fan base does not want Woodcroft fired. The majority of the media does not want Woodcroft fired. So I think it's one of those situations where he kind of has to win the next few games to just keep his job on the line.
Yep, I'm seeing some people in here. Super Gremlin, GM getting fired mid-season causes chaos, in my opinion. Yeah, I think firing anyone causes chaos, but sometimes you need a little bit of chaos. I don't think you want to fire anyone. That's why it's chaotic. That's my buddy who's on my couch, so I just wanted to chirp him right there with that dumb comment right there. I love it. But yeah, I feel like you're going to keep with him for now. Once again, this is the same roster and the same team that went on a great run last year. Is this just, we want to say it's a 10-game stretch. Well, maybe this one was 12 games and we turn around. We won't know. We'll be back on Monday to fire everybody up again and start sipping that Kool-Aid and telling you all the reasons why good things are going to continue to happen. Speaking of good things, I also thought tonight, Connor, the Oilers, the odd man rushes we were texting during, it was very unusual to see odd man rushes going our way or going for us, not against us. And even when I thought the Kraken did get odd man rushes coming against us, back checking was very noticeable by the Edmonton Oilers tonight. The give a shit meter looked turned up.
Yeah, almost as if it was a point of emphasis for the coaching staff, the team. Like, hey, we got to avoid these sorts of things. Oh, had a tough one with that word. But anyways, yeah, it's good to see. And then, going the other way, like you said, the first goal from Hyman, 2-on-1. Nice to see. There was a time that I remember when McDavid and Draisaitl on a 2-on-1 was a lock to be a goal. Maybe a sign of the slump going on right now. Draisaitl can't even hit the net on this one. Hopefully they get that figured out, because kind of crazy that those two pointless in the game and they still score 4 goals and win the game. But yeah, I mean, that was something that they certainly had to correct and figure out. 2-on-1s are going to happen, 3-on-2s, etc. But you do have to make sure you get on your horse and get back and apply a little bit of pressure. Try to create some chaos going the other way. So that was a much better performance from the Oilers. Yeah, not only defensively and in their own end, but on the rush.
It was better all over walls. Anything defensively stand out? I thought the front of the net was taken care of more. I thought breakouts were better tonight. It just seemed simpler. And like whoever pointed out, it was just a more boring game because it just felt like things were under control tonight, right, Waz?
Yeah, it was a near perfect performance for the Oilers. I mean, I mentioned, like in that second period, the Kraken had like 9 shots. Defensively, this is the best we've seen the Oilers up until, the Kraken were able to get a little bit of pressure in the third. But overall, this is probably their best performance of the season, right? And like now the question really is, can we do it again? Because they need to do it again and again and again and again. Just keep playing hard. Just bring that work ethic, and you're going to win more than you lose and eventually find yourself in a better position.
Yep, very good point there, Waz. Let's get into now the DoorDash hot. Give me a ding dong, Waz.
Ding dong.
There it is. Thank you. The DoorDash hot and cold performer of the game. DoorDash, for a limited time only, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25. I DoorDashed last night. It was fantastic. They had a holiday code. I used that too. DoorDash is the best. They make it easy on you because I am lazy as absolute hell. My hot performer of the game, we touched on it a little bit earlier. It obviously could be Zach Hyman. I'm not going to go with that. It could be Stuart Skinner. I'm not going to go with that. We touched on it. It's Dylan Dills, Holloway. There's something good about seeing your young guy and his youthfulness, and he always tries so hard. He skates so hard. Man, there was one, he went flying into the boards right before that fight, and it was just, I said it last game, every time I see Dylan Holloway go into the boards, I do think he's going to break his leg in half. It's quite the roller coaster, but I thought he was really great. Connor, you've already touched on it about his ability to fight back. Do you think it's as simple as just getting physical sometimes for NHL players to get engaged in the game? Because we've seen it with Evander Kane. We've seen it with other guys, like a Klim Kostin gets in a fight, boom, he's scoring goals immediately. Do you think there's some truth to that gets you? Because I think so.
I think so, for sure. I think there's certain guys that can just turn it on when the puck's dropped and they're ready to go, but there's some other guys who need a little bit of physicality to get it going. I remember Milan Lucic when he was here. I always thought it was crazy when teams would hit him. I said, why would you wake this guy up? Let him sleep. Don't wake the bear. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if Dylan Holloway's that guy, but for sure, throw a hit, get involved in the game. I still remember when Sam Gagner was like 20 years old. This is a long time ago. And he said, you got to find a way to be noticed in the game, whether it is scoring a goal, making an offensive play, or throwing a hit, starting a fight, doing something just to kind of get the juices going. And I mean, we've all played a sport. I'm sure everyone in this chat room has played a sport of some kind. When you hit somebody, don't you feel good? Like you feel kind of tough. Like it's a good feeling. You start feeling good about yourself. It's a sport of alphas, right? So hey, if you got to do something like that to get the confidence going, I certainly do think that it can have a huge impact, not only on you but your teammate. Like I said, we've all played sports. You got a guy on the team that big hit, big stop, whatever it might be. Gets the juices going. So yeah, I'm a huge believer in that.
Yep. I feel like sometimes it might getting into a fight, like it activates you for that game. I don't know if necessarily it carries over to games, because I don't know if you can just kind of be like, tap into the emotion you felt in the last game and use that? Maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't been that good of an athlete. That's why I'm sitting here in this chair. I say this all the time. Was any hot performers for you?
Hot performers. Can I give it to the whole team? I thought the whole team just put a great performance in and just limiting shots, and everyone showed up tonight, and that's what we needed. We just need everyone to put their best foot forward, and that's what we saw. And I think Connor, you make a great point with the fighting with Dylan Holloway. It's just, it kind of increases a little bit of adrenaline. It fires everybody up on the bench, right? Like, I play indoor soccer, and when it gets a little scrappy out there, everyone gets fired up, and everyone's got each other's back and stuff. So it's
totally the same. It's totally the same.
Well, indoor soccer, I'm not gonna lie to you, can get a little feisty. We've had moments. So yeah,
any sport, man. I'll say basketball, not the contact sport. Someone lays a big pick, you're probably feeling it. Soccer, football, big hit, everyone gets jacked up. I think it's universal in sport. People get fired up in that stuff.
Forgive my soccer chirp. I apologize. I'll get it in the chat. I'm just not
but
I'm an American football kind of guy. But
when you play Chell and you get into a fight, your team's like energy goes up, right? So there you go.
Hey, we'll talk chill and shell with Waz. Is that what it is? Yeah, we'll talk that in just a bit. But my cold performer of the game. Now, this gives me no joy in saying this. It's Leon Draisaitl for me. Obviously, like we saw Connie talk about the 2-on-1 with McDavid, and he delivers sauce across, can't even hit the net. You see his reaction on the boards. He looks pissed. For me, there was a specific moment. It was in the third period. We all saw it. They showed the replay. He's coming down the right wing. He's banging his stick for the pass. Love that. Hey, whatever. Don't read into that. That's how you communicate. He doesn't get the pass. He immediately looks so dejected and just pissed off at his own teammate. You're up 4-1 at that point. You might have been up 4-0. There's no need to give that body language at all. You're a leader. You have an A on your chest. It really pissed me off to watch that. I love Leon. I'm not. We all know he has his cycles of ruts and whatnot. But man, like everybody's got the spotlight on you. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody knows that. You don't want to have another dumb question in the media. Guess what they're probably going to ask you at some point in the coming days about that one. I don't know. Sometimes I get so frustrated with it, Connor. Do you too?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me anymore with Leon because I think he just wears his emotions on his sleeve, right? And you see it in post game when they're winning and he's scoring goals, he's laughing, he's having a good time. On the flip side, he gets famously pissy, and then on the ice, it's the same sort of thing, right? He lets it all out there. So I'm with you. I mean, I kind of think at that point in the game, maybe you just kind of laugh it off and say, it's not my night. We'll bounce back. We're up by 3. Things are good, but. Yeah, don't love it, not surprised by it.
Am I reading too much into this? Will Dry pull himself out of this? Because he does this every year, right?
Yeah, he's just getting a little frustrated that things are not going his way, and I kind of feel like he's someone who's obviously very emotional, and I think the emotions kind of get to him. I think he needs to kind of control them a bit better. He needs to understand that, you're not going to have a perfect game. You're not going to get a perfect pass, and just kind of have to keep going at it, keep being consistent. Eventually, if you keep working hard, like I've mentioned, it's going to end up going your way. We've seen Leon Draisaitl. He's one of the best players in this franchise's history. There's no doubt that he can get back to that same level that we've seen him before.
For me, it's the Zach Hyman mentality. You just keep doing the right thing over and over and over. Eventually, you're going to break through. Boom, 3-spot, first period. Everybody's happy. It's a good night. So I didn't like seeing an upset, angry Leon. There's no reason to be upset. The only other cold performer I have, fact check me in the chat if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure Jack Campbell allowed 3 goals on 23 shots and a 3-0 loss. Please let me know if I'm off on that or correct me. But
he got pulled.
That brother be ice cold. Yeah. Ice cold DoorDash performer. DoorDash could deliver ice cold things to you and they would still be frozen. That's how quick they are at what they do. Catching up in the chat here. Danger Suede. Leon strikes me as someone who is harder on himself than he is others. Yeah, that's fair. And I want you to be harder on yourself than others. I don't want to see pissy Leon and his teammates. So at least he's doing that. He is kind of containing it. It's just a body language thing. Maybe it's a media thing that we're looking into. So there's that. Oh, Maynard says 4 goals, 4-0. Even worse. Oh, okay. But empty net, maybe. Okay, that's what I thought. I think he only allowed 3. Big time regression to the mean tonight, says Letters of Vax. We've been talking about the Oilers. They lead the league in shots for, but their shooting percentage, scoring percentage hasn't been great. Tonight was a great first step in getting that going back. We still have a way to go in the goal differential department. I don't even want to begin to look at that one, but hey, whatever. We'll look past that tonight. We're being positive. Speaking of positive, Wendy's. Wendy's is always positive. Wendy's is the best. Wendy's is letting you win real food with your fantasy teams this year and daily face-off. For those of you who smoke the competition, Wendy's is rewarding you with weekly prizes that have you savoring the true taste of victory. We love Wendy's. Get a barbecue bacon cheeseburger. Get a JBC. Connor, what's your favorite Wendy's item?
Oh, JBC's for sure. I accidentally ordered a Boonier Jakin cheeseburger once, and it was so embarrassing. But yeah, then I just started calling them JBC's and took care of that problem.
That's right. Waz, what's your favorite Wendy's item?
I'm a little different. The spicy chicken sandwich.
Ooh.
But honestly, you cannot go wrong with anything on the Wendy's menu. I swear to God, they have like almost a perfect menu.
That's a natural plug right there. That one was from the heart. That was just from, we just feel that. Tonight, some things for me, I guess, of just kind of wrapping up. Power play 1 looked better. They got on the board, so there's that. PP2 got a little bit of time. I'm less worried. They kind of looked more like themselves. Once again, what did they do on the power play tonight? They went 1 for 3. Hey, 33.3. That could be record breaking once again. Less dumb penalties tonight. Didn't really see a lot of that. The odd man rushes with the back checking. Thought that was a great job. Anybody in the chat, let me know if there's something we haven't touched on yet that I'd still like to get to. Hand up. Yes.
I don't like to be negative, and I feel like we need to have a conversation.
Get him out.
I'm sorry. Raphael Lavoie had 4 minutes of ice time and 11 seconds. What do we feel about this guy? Because I put out a tweet saying, Raphael Lavoie, this guy should maybe get some more minutes this game, considering they're up 4-0, 4-1. I thought there was room and time and space to give him some extra minutes and kind of feel the NHL game a bit more in that space. But people are saying how Lavoie he just looks slow and sluggish. What do we think about Lavoie right now?
Connor, you go.
Well, yeah, he could have been the cold player of the game because he was probably physically cold from barely playing 4 minutes. I don't know. It's hard to say because what are you going to do in 4 minutes of play?
Yeah.
You're going to get out there and it's going to fly by and then you're done. And then you're sitting off for 5-6 minutes of real time, whatever it might be. I feel like it'd be just tough to get your momentum going. And that probably tells you a lot about why he wasn't on this team to start the season when a lot of people thought he could have been. Does he have the trust of Jay Woodcroft to go out there in certain situations? Or, you're trying to pick your spots for him. I just don't know. He wasn't overly noticeable. I think he had zeros across the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure here. Didn't throw a hit. Didn't
get just saying he did nothing, right?
Nothing like that. But on the flip side, you have 4 minutes. So I don't want to judge him too roughly on that one. So
I don't think he did anything bad.
No, I think he's just he was out there, a jag, just a guy.
Hey, well, we're throwing out jag terms right now. Ooh, we're just a guy. And guys, I like that.
Tonight, for tonight.
Raph Lavoie, 4 minutes, 11 seconds. James Hamblin, 8 minutes, 11 seconds. Once again, I don't know what to even think of the guy because I don't see him enough out there. I notice him every time because 62 is a disgusting number to wear, and he's huge. So that always stands out. But once again, I don't know what stands out looking at Dylan Holloway. He had 13 minutes of ice time. So it's still not. I'd like to see that get in the 15-16 range, but hey, whatever. I don't know what's going on in Jay Woodcroft's head. He's him with his young guys. I think it's the trust factor. And then you see Vinny Desharnais has his trust, and that's his boy. So he keeps going back to him always. I don't know how you get in the good books. Maybe it's like a teacher. You bring him an apple, so you got to start bringing him DoorDash, bringing him Wendy's.
Yeah.
Get going with that. I feel like we talked about, I got my questions here. My final ones. Connor.
Yes.
Explain this cul-de-sac thing to me. I'm hearing conflicting reports. Is he actually doing it? Did you give him a cop-out or break it down for me?
So basically, I think it was Tuesday. He kind of just uttered, if the Oilers lose to San Jose on Thursday night, I will grow the cul-de-sac out, the Leahy, for 6 months. Now, there's conflicting reports because at first he said 7, but he meant 6, and then we just went with 6. It's a better number. that's how it started. Obviously, it happened. We know what happened. And yeah, so we kind of felt bad for him. We thought the Oilers kind of just really let him down in this case. So it was a tough decision. The 1440 minds came together, ruled on it. We said, we're going to lock you in for 3 months. You have to do 3 months. So he is going to have like a good thing on the side. And then because the Oilers put him into this mess, they can get him out of it. So after the 3 months, if the Oilers go on a 5-game winning streak, he is freed.
I think it's fair.
Wait. After 3 months, if they go on but isn't he just done after 3 months?
No, because we said it was originally going to be 6 months,
Okay.
right? So after after 3 months, he has a chance for the team to bail him out. So no pressure for the boys. I mean, they put him into this mess. They can get him out of it after.
I love that. Okay. I saw people saying that you gave him a cop out. I'm totally okay with that cop out. 3 months is more than enough time to get something disgusting going back there. And then, oh man, if they had like 4 wins going into that 5th game, oh my God, that would be
the hype train gets going, right? Yeah.
I might even bet against them just so Greggs can keep it. I can't wait to see what it looks like. He just keeps tweeting photos of like gifs of George Costanza. That's all I picture with Gregor, but some stylish glasses as well in there at the same time.
So when you guys think of that hairstyle, like who pulled it off the best in your opinion?
Jim Leahy.
George Costanza.
Leahy, Costanza, okay. Some
Who
people
are your favorite bald people? Cul-de-sac people? Let me know in the chat. Who are your
Larry David?
Cul-de-sackers? Oh, Larry David, that's a good one. Yeah, that's
Monty
absolutely
Burns had a good one.
Larry David's a good one, yeah.
You guys going bald yet?
Me, maybe.
I think I'm on my way. I'm getting a little thin up top.
I've been
here.
tripped about it before. Like people say, like, "Oh, Waz, you're going balding." I'm like, I don't know. Am I? Maybe. I don't know. Am I? I don't know.
I think I'm doing okay, but knock on wood. I'm sure
Aaron,
the day
great.
will. Thanks, Waz. Speaking of great, Waz, you look great every time I see you. It's on Sundays, right? With Chill and Shell. Is it Shell and Chill or Chill and Shell? First question.
Chill and Chill with Waz. Now it's not every Sunday. It's just kind of like I try to find one day in the week where the Oilers don't play, and I kind of just go live. So I went live last night, and we didn't really play Chell. We just kind of cruised the internet and talked the Oilers, and it was such a good time. It was just a vibe. Like I put out a tweet like, do I change this to late night with Waz, but Chell and Chill, like, because sometimes I'm not feeling like I don't want to play Chell. You know, sometimes the game's not, you're not feeling it, but you want to talk with some people. And the Nation citizens are fantastic, right?
It's just a Waz in real life stream. You're gonna be the next Speed. You're gonna be the next Aiden Ross. I'm Aiden Ross. That's a streamer. I know
Aiden Ross, Speed. I'm not as loud as them. I'm not.
We've said enough.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take off my shirt.
Let me finally, as we wind down here, next game Monday. It's a holiday, so there isn't gonna be any Oilers Nation every day. I don't think there's gonna be any pods, but you know what will be there? Pre-gaming with Bordsy. I don't take a holiday. I don't take any day off. I'll be doing pre and post. I don't know who's with me. Yaremchuk should be back with me for the pre. Hopefully he's just wildly hungover. But let me start with you, Connor. Score predictions Monday nights.
Well, shameless plug. I do believe that we will be on air from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, and then we can transition right into pre-gaming with Bordsy and everyone wins. But prediction, I'm going to say this keeps on rolling. I think they'll get it done again against the Islanders. This time, McDavid and Draisaitl will score. 4-2 Oilers win.
Was?
I will go 5-3 Oilers. I think they're going to go on a bit of maybe a 3-game win streak here. I'm not too sure, but I think they got to go on a roll here somehow, some way, right? So, but I think Draisaitl will score, but not McDavid. A little different.
Nice. So it's a 6:30 start in Edmonton on Monday. It's the New York Islanders. They play greasy, gross, boring hockey all the time. I'm smashing the under on this one. I think it's going to be a 3-1 Oilers victory, maybe an empty netter. It's going to be gross. It's going to be ugly, and we're not going to enjoy watching it, but we love breaking down a win afterwards. I think that's really all I got tonight, boys. It is, what time we got? 11:37 on a Saturday night. Yep. You guys are the real MVPs. Everybody in the chat, you are real MVPs. We couldn't do the show without you. We love you all. It's a great time. I think I just saw Lance in here, and he said, you guys are my best friends. You're damn right, because we are a family in here. So for my pal Connor Halley, my pal Matt Wozniak, and my producer pal, Patrick Puff. Holy shit, that was an alliteration. We're signing off, and I'm going to go crush a couple more beverages. If you want to crush some, hey, go out to Greta. Go check out Greta. Say my name. Maybe they'll think you have the crew card that I do. Whatever. Just say you're Aaron. See what happens. I love you all. We will catch up again on Monday. Have a good one, everybody, and sleep tight.